and kind of saying, I understand that people feel like kind of threatened with trans women going into the women's toilets, and this bill with like Labour and stuff like that. But she'd kind of then said, but if you flip that on its head and say that this came into practice and was like, trans people have to use the toilets of their birth gender, that then results, guys, women, that then results in me using the women's toilets. And I appreciate that some people who just subbed. Luck sees it. Thank you so much for the subscription. Very much appreciated indeed. And Ashley, one more corgi and it gets lit up. So I appreciate that. Ashley, thank you so much for the corgis indeed. I'm already following you. Thank you ever so much. Don't know why I said like that. Absolutely do not know why I said like that. Thank you so much. That was the same. So, hang on, let me change this. What is it next? Yeah, so I appreciate that there are a few of you in here, not all of you, of course. There are a few of you in here because of, I suppose, how humble I am, that probably would be comfortable with me using the female toilets if that was brought into practice. However, it's not where I'm meant to be. You know? I go in the male toilets because I am a man, and that's where I'm meant to be. So I'm not for 1 minute saying that I don't get like the frustration from women because of things that have happened with like SA and things, men literally dressing up as women to go into the toilet to specifically SA, and then they claim the trans card and get put in a female prison. Do not get that at all. Nothing of that even makes sense to me. Rosie, thank you so much for the money going. If you send 4 in a row, you become the title gifter. Thank you so much. And Ashley, thank you for the confetti as well there. Is it rude to say if you don't have bottom surgery to not use the other gender's bathroom? It's not rude to say anything of a sort. I wouldn't class it as rude for people thinking that you shouldn't, but you need to kind of not just base it around what genitalia that you have. I'm not sure who it was who asked that question. I've lost it now. Whoever it was who asked that question, I do apologise. I didn't read the name. Do you think that I should use the male or female toilets? I should forgot you're trans. You're just a nice ordinary guy to me that speaks a lot of sense. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. When people say, oh, is it rude to say? Oh, Gothic Mum. Yeah, so do you think, Gothic Mum, that I should use the male or female toilets? Like, take away the fact of anyone being comfortable because of the type of person I am. Do you personally think I should use male or female toilets? Male. So, my argument to that is, for those of you who don't know, I haven't had bottom surgery. So I'm kind of like laying myself out bare here, excuse the pun. But when I use the toilet, I don't have to use a urinal. I, obviously, because I can't, I use a cubicle. The same as a trans woman has to in the female toilets because there's only cubicles anyway, you know? So, yeah, it gets made more of, like, too much of a big deal in some sectors and then not enough of a big deal in others. It's a very sore subject. I've said this since I was about 21 years old, before it even became a problem with people. The toilet situation amongst the trans community will never, ever be sorted. There is no solution to it. I've spoke about it before, like, till I'm blue in the face. Not literally, of course. But when you break it up into separate sectors, so trans women using the women's toilets, you're going to have natural born women that may feel a little bit under threat, we'll say. Trans women using the male toilets, they're going to feel under threat in the male toilets. A trans man using the male toilets, they feel under threat from the males in the toilets. A trans man using the female toilets, the females feel under threat from the trans man. Does that make sense? I hope I have just said that right. So, yeah, it's a very hard one. The only possible way that this would remotely be just a full stop would be if they created trans toilets. And I can guarantee you now, from a trans man to all of you, I wouldn't use a trans toilet. I will use the male toilet because I'm a man. I also don't want to paint a big target on my back when I'm walking in the toilet going, I'm fucking trans. You know? If a person trans, they aren't going through the process. That's what I've just said, yeah, Ruby. Absolutely agree. Hey, Lucy. Happy Saturday to you too. So, yeah, it's something that will never be sorted. I would never use a toilet if he was... I wouldn't fucking use a toilet if he was in there. Toby, your voice is so soothing. I don't get when people say that. I don't understand. Official, I can't see the rest of the... Oh, hang on. Official, Mama Fran, thank you so much for the perfumes. Very much appreciated. I will say again, if anyone sends four money guns in a row, you become the title gifter from one person. You become the title gifter of the money guns, gets lit up in the gift gallery with your username. Popping to say every day is a new chance to be amazing. Go for it. Hashtag be kind. Well, thank you very much for that, for sharing that. I appreciate you coming in and sharing that. Very true words. And thank you for the follow. Evening, Hell's Bells. Rebecca, thank you for the follow. You know where you are seriously lacking? Cards Against Humanity. I literally posted one yesterday. Yeah. So, anyone who comes in and says that now, I'm literally like, posted one, didn't I? Hey, Jenny. Abby, thank you for the follow. Charlotte, thank you for the tiny diny. Charlie boy, thank you for the paper crane. Are you alright, mate? What about non-binary? Does that not make it more? Jenny, when non-binary gets brought into any conversation like this, it absolutely does make it more confusing, of course. So, when non-binary does get brought into the conversation, Jordan, thank you for the heart me. I'll retract my annoyance. Yes, when non-binary gets brought in the conversation, Charlie, thank you for the heart me. What's your opinion on gender-neutral toilets? I'm not sure I wholeheartedly agree with gender-neutral toilets. I feel like put them there. If people want to use them, they will, but don't just have gender-neutral toilets. If you're going to have gender-neutral toilets, you need to have them and male and female. But what was I just about to answer? Sorry, I get so sidetracked. What was I just about to answer? Oh, non-binary. When non-binary gets brought into this conversation specifically about the toilets, it, of course, makes it more confusing because, well, you've got non-binary. Hey, thank you, Charlie boy, for that moustache. You've got non-binary. What's going on my hair? Got non-binary, and then you've got gender fluid, which are opposing sides, pretty much, which I only found out a few months ago from someone on my live. So for those of you who don't know, I will just quickly explain. Non-binary is when you aren't any gender. You don't have a gender, okay? Gender fluid is when you've got more than one gender, or you identify as more than one gender, I should say, because I don't play into all that. Hope you're good. I am, thank you, Charlie, but I hope you are too. Hey, thank you thank you for the sunglasses. Who sent that? Why can't I see it? Oh, Neve. Thank you, Neve. Yes, it is Neve, isn't it? Spelled Niamh. What are we discussing today? Toilets. Toilet situations. What was I saying? Yeah, so for someone who identifies as non-binary, claiming that they can use whatever toilet they want, I don't believe that to be true. I don't think that you should be able to just use whichever toilet you want for whatever... No, hang on. Yeah, I don't think you should just be able to use whatever toilet you want because you don't resonate with a gender, so you just get to choose where you go. Ashley, thank you so much. The treasure box is a treasure box up here, guys. Grab your coins when the time is up. You got it right, Mav. I appreciate you creating a safe space for this conversation. You don't need to thank me. It's my job. It's not my job at all, but we do it. So yeah, non-binary in the toilets. You can't just kind of go, I'm male today, I'm going to use the male toilets. I'm female tomorrow. That's when I'll use the female toilets. It doesn't work like that. Then you've obviously got gender fluid, which is the same exact problem in this case. Hang on. I've got that completely wrong, haven't I? Gender fluid is my previous one that I just said. Male one day, female the next day. A chair the next day. A cat the following day. That's what I was talking about. Sorry, I do apologise. I get confused. Non-binary is when you're neither or none. And again, they get to just choose whichever toilets they want to use. Because then their thing is, I'm non-binary, I don't have a gender. But for me, I'm all about being fair to everyone else. My biggest reason, I mean, it's not the biggest reason why I don't use the female toilets. I don't use the female toilets because it's not where I'm meant to be. But beyond that, my biggest reason for not using the female toilets after that is the fact that I would never ever want to make a woman feel uncomfortable in my presence for going into a female safe space. Now, I am not a threatening person. I am 5'6". I'm not even 5'6". I'm 5'5.5". Yes, the half matters, of course, but I'm more closer to 6 than I am 5. Just want to get that out there. Kelly, thank you for the heart me. I'm 5 foot. I'm 5'5.5". Can I just say 5'6"? It makes me feel better. I'm 5'6", right? I am not a scary person. I've been told multiple times in the past that I am like a teddy bear. Because of my chubby cheeks, and I'm hairy, I'm furry, I'm chunky, I'm a little chubster. There is nothing threatening about me, one iota. However, that wouldn't stop a female from feeling threatened by my presence in a female safe space, because in their head, and I put myself in their position, in their head, why the fuck am I, as a male, in the female toilets? Now, if I were in the female toilets, they don't know that I'm trans. Which brings me on to my next part of this conversation regarding the toilets. This whole thing about they're going to try to get trans people to go in, like, the birth toilets. How are you going to do that? What are you going to do? You're going to ID them at the door? You're going to literally ask them to show proof that they are transgender? Which means that they have to ask everyone, by the way, because there is not one person who tells me, in this day and age, that I look female. So then would it be, or if you look male enough, or you look female enough, then you can just go in, but if you don't, you'll get questioned and ID'd at the door. See? It doesn't work either way. Lauren, thank you for the team bracelet. To me, go in the toilet, you've got the bits for. So, again, that doesn't sit with me. Because, like I said, Nikita, is it? Do you think I should go in the male or female toilets? Thank you for all them gifts, by the way, guys. I think they're from the treasure chest. I'm sitting with my legs crossed. Stop it. Neve, thank you for the finger hearts. it would be impossible to please. Exactly. Now, I get what people say when they say go in the toilets that you've got the bits for, but again, who would know? Do you know what I mean? And I say that obviously with respect, like I completely understand why people say that, but this is where the fight is, isn't it? Because I'm not going to go in the female toilets. I haven't had bottom surgery, though. I still have what I was born with, unfortunately, but there it is. But I'm not going to use a female toilet. And as I say, just because I use a cubicle doesn't make me any less male. Don't make me any less of a man for using a cubicle. In fact, take it from me, who uses the men's toilets, there are a lot of men that use cubicles. Yeah. Birdie, thank you for the flame heart. If I was in a toilet, I would walk out. I think everyone would. Never get bottom surgery. I'd never rule it out. We'll say that. I would never ever rule it out. I've actually been kind of swaying in the opposite direction again lately. It's so scary though, man. It's so scary. I was attacked by a man in the ladies' toilet, so I do not want a man in my space. There you go. And I'm sorry to hear that, Laura. But if it's any consolation, I was attacked by 3 fully grown men when I was like 21 in the male toilets. I still looked female. I should not have been in the male toilets when I still looked like that. I had not started hormones or anything, and this is my argument today, obviously, and I hold my hands up. I should not have been. I didn't. This wasn't even a thing to be spoken about back then. I shouldn't have been in the toilets, but I did, and I was like brutally attacked for being in there. So, yeah. As long as they aren't a predator and are genuine, it wouldn't bother me. What sort of do that then? Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like, if you can see, we'll say about trans women, if you can see that someone is making a conscious effort, if you know that it's a trans woman, but you can see that she's making a conscious effort, you know, then I don't think the majority of you would be bothered by that. It's when you have got, when it's a clear male with a fucking beard in a dress, going, like, come on, man. No actual genuine trans woman is going to walk around with a beard. They're going to do everything in their power to make themselves look as feminine as possible, which is why I never understand when fucking health bar doesn't shave properly, man. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake. To everyone who's saying, sorry it happened to me and all that in the comments, thank you. This was a long time ago. It was like 11 years ago. I don't like to say I'm traumatised from it, but I think I am. I think I've got slight PTSD from it, maybe. Or not PTSD. I don't want to claim that. I don't want to claim that I've got PTSD from it. I don't know what the word is. Something, because I still, to this day, when I go in the toilets, I'm still very aware that I'm going in the male toilets. Yeah? Charlotte, thank you for the follow. Are there active ways we can stay safe? I mean, the only way you can stay safe is to keep the predators out, but it's proving so hard to do. Some sort of trauma, we'll say. I'd be surprised if it's affected you in some ways. Yeah, like I say, I don't want to claim it's PTSD because I'm not sure if that's what it is. It's left some sort of indent, I think, in me. So, yeah. But, like, I always think that people are, like, watching me in there, like, and they know, but they don't, you know? It's in my head. And I don't know whether that's come from what happened or that's just how I feel about it being trans anyway. Oh, hi, Asha. But they don't look like predators. This is the problem, isn't it? It's intense trauma. It's bound to affect you. Yeah. I mean, it was really quite bad for people who don't already know about it, because I've spoken about it before. It was really bad. Yeah, weird. It's normal that it's caused some sort of anxiety still now when you use toilets. Yeah. I always clock how long you are in the toilets for and I out. Just my fiance looking out for me. Send love to anyone who's had any kind of experience like that. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Neve. And sadly, we do find that most women have been through some sort of situation like that. Tip of the hat to you. Tip of the hat to you, Frankie. It is wonderful and so funny. She is indeed. She's my girl. I'm so sorry that happened to you, Toby. I think you're wonderful. Thank you, Hugo. Oh, what happened to my voice then? Don't the non-binary people have the same problem with the toilets then? What, like not knowing which toilet to go in? 97%. Oh God, that's so much, isn't it? Out of 100, like, my God, 3%. What's your opinion on the trans women's bathroom debate? That's what we're talking about, Fred. My opinion is if you pass, then it's... Yeah, that's pretty much what I've said, Fred. Like, if you pass, then, yeah, absolutely. If you're genuinely trans, yeah. So the non-binary, yeah, it is a problem because obviously if they are claiming that they don't have a gender, then what toilet do they use? The only thing is that, like, non-binary is not trans, and it's like they can't just kind of wake up one day and go, I'm female, today I'll use a female toilet, because if they aren't going through a transition to actively look the opposing gender to what they were born, they should be using their biological toilets. Like, for anyone who isn't trans is going to use their biological toilets, you know? I'm an LGBT plus ally, sorry if I spelled that wrong. I even made pride bracelets for a local... I love that. Love that. What did I miss? By far, you're my favourite person on TikTok, truly. Thank you, Lucy. That's awful. What happened? Hang on, I've missed some. It says here, by my stepdad from the age. So much. Oh. It's just awful to hear. I'm so sorry that you went through that, honestly. Thanks for clearing that one. That's obviously just my opinion. Just want to get that out there. But I am going to do a quick poll. We've got like 147 people in here. I'm going to do a quick poll. And this is obviously nothing against like any men in here, but I am just directing this at the women because that's what we were getting at. So I'm going to do a quick poll. Don't start yet until I press the start button. And obviously you don't have to say as well, but for statistics, but don't say if you don't want to. If you have been a victim of some sort of SA or S harassment, anything in that sector, put a crying face. If you haven't, put a smiley face. Started it, go. Crying face if it has happened to you from the women in here. A smiley face if it's never happened to you. That's just awful. Look at that. Look at that. Sorry, what women? When my mum helped herself and I came. Helped herself? What do you mean? So it's ended in with... Out of 57 people that did it, 45 of them said that it had happened to them. My dad was sleeping. Oh, what? Oh. How do you even know that? Like, did your mum tell you? Right, hang on a minute, because I feel like this is now turning into something. So just little plain Andrew, you've come in and been like, so it's not just women, and you've completely missed what I said previous to that, didn't you? Yet another person who's come in mid-conversation, or whatever, did you hear what I said previous to that? When I went, I know it happens to men too, but for the purpose of the conversation of what we're talking about. Did you hear that bit? Or you're just, like, being ignorant to that? Not at any point in that conversation did I go, it doesn't happen to men. Did you say when the poll women? I said, before I started it, and everyone in here can vouch for me, and you can go away and all. Before I started it, everyone heard me. I said women because of what we were talking about in the chat. But previous to that, I said, I know it happens to men, but for the purpose of what we're talking about. I did say that, yeah. How does a man get a you-know when he's not aware of it? To be fair, you can get, like, obviously morning wood. Thank you, guys, for clearing that up. You always get people, don't you, that come in mid-conversation or whatever and then just want to jump in and go, oh, this and this and this and you said this. You know? Yeah, well, I thought that, guys, but... No, they're quiet, yeah. Why do people have to hijack a convo when it's such an important topic? Yeah, it really, that's why I get my back up about it. Because I'm like, when I'm speaking about it, quite passionately as well, and then you get someone just come in and just say something like that. I was talking about women. I don't know why that then got turned about men anyway. I was specifically talking about women. How do they know that right after that conversation I wasn't about to just go, but men in here, how many of you are, and do another poll? They don't. They have to jump in and go straight for the throat. My dad was sleeping and I was told she helped herself and I was an accident. Right, so when you say that you were an accident, do you mean that your mum started to do that with your dad when he was asleep? And I'm guessing that your dad woke up during. Did he say no or like stop her or anything? Hey Layla, being love Mary said, thank you Layla. Come in mid-convo, but I just want to say I love how real in front you are. Thank you, diamonds are addictive. Oh. Thank you, Tracy, as well. Yeah, it was nothing to do with what the poll was about. How you doing? You keep doing your videos that are on point and educating people. Thank you, Katie. Very much appreciate it.
The Observer, providing you with the latest TikTok drama from across the UK.